Hey, what's going on, Rudder Nation? This is another installment of Jerry's Shorts. These are the short episodes I like to share in the middle of the week to help propel you through the weekend into a brand new week at work, at home, whatever the case may be. Now, in this episode, I want to talk with you about goal setting, but more specifically about goal setting with your team members. So if you're in a leadership role, this episode is for you. I'm going to share in the show notes. This is Jerry's Short number 19. So beyondtherut.com/JS019. You'll find links to other Jerry Short installments where I talk about goal setting for you. In the past, I've talked about the impact of having goals, writing SMART goals, the 4 ingredients that help goals become successful. And I might mention those again here. So check out those show notes, beyondtherut.com/JS019, and you'll find links to related episodes I've done around goals, goal setting, and goal achievement. Now, if you're a leader, I've talked about my tent framework, stake your leadership tent, and how, tents have been used by the military for thousands of years to protect them from the elements so they can gather information, sort that information out, and then share that information with the people they lead. Tents are also very mobile, and they're adaptable. However, the fastest way to set that tent up securely with the fewest people possible is to stake out the corners first, and then you're able to pop up the middle and stake everything out and tighten it down. Similarly, your leadership career should be the same. You should have 4 corners staked out, and then you'll find your leadership tent pops up. And that tent, your leadership toolkit in a sense, gathers information in a safe way, sorts it out in a way that is clear to you, and you're able to lead your team in a way that builds trust, engagement, and drops turnover. There we go. You want to raise retention, drop turnover, and you do that by engaging your employees so that they feel cared for, they see growth opportunities, they take advantage of both, and they just love where they work, so much so that they will stay where they are with you rather than take another job opportunity that is offering a little bit more pay. So if you're tired of losing people to a nickel or $1 an hour, they'll stay if you stake out your leadership tent. So those 4 stakes are trust building, empowering, navigating, and thriving together. My past few episodes of Jerry's Shorts have talked about the trust building part, having a leadership credo, rounding with your employees, acting in a way that builds up trust and camaraderie over time. And we've dabbled into empowerment, where you are rounding with them to learn about them, and then delegation. I believe I have an episode of delegation. If not, I'll come back on episode JS20 or Jerry Short number 20, and I'll cover delegation and the carry, crawl, walk, run model that goes with that. So we're talking about navigating, and specifically you helping your employees navigate towards their own success. Now, it's up to them to decide if they want to grow, succeed, and achieve, and continue up a progression of some kind that suits what they want. You can come along and help them navigate that. And one of the tools is to be good at goal setting. Now, from a performance management perspective, as a leader, you're going to have some goals that you agree on with your organization. Some performance metrics, for example. And we need our teams to execute those goals, to get those goals done, basically, because if they get those goals done, we all get to keep our job, we get to grow, we get to make more money, and we have career success because the organization has success as well. So, goals. You probably have some. Hopefully you have them written down. Hopefully you've shared them with somebody. Hopefully you stay accountable with that person and give regular updates, because those are the 4 ingredients. So first ingredient is you have a goal, you have it written down, hopefully in a SMART format, which is specific, measurable, achievable by you, relevant to your bigger picture, and they have a timetable to them. Now, with that, the second ingredient is you need to have a committed action that'll help build the momentum for that goal's achievement. The third thing is you share it with somebody. In this case, the employee is sharing their goal with you. And then the fourth ingredient is that you have regular check-ins with progress reports. Those 4 ingredients coming together help people become successful in their goals. Now, as an employer, with your employees, what you want to do is create goals that help them achieve what they want, and ideally also help you, the organization, achieve what it needs. And a great way to do that is have a meeting with one of your employees. I would say allot 30 to 60 minutes, and because you want some time to really discuss or at least set the stage. So if it's 30 minutes, you're setting the stage, you're giving them some parameters to think about, and you do a follow-up where you spend another 30 minutes locking everything in, or you can spend all 60 minutes right then and there going through this process. What I like to do is tell my employee, my team member, hey, these are the things I've seen you excel in. Let me share with you some of the things I'm doing going forward. And then I share with them, here's some of the things I have and I envision for the next year, 5 years, and so on. But I want to hear some of what you want to achieve. So tell me, where do you want to be a year from now, 5 years from now? What do you want to be doing? What kind of skills do you want to have picked up? And what achievements will you have wanted to have made by the end of the year or 5 years? Whatever, either works. Ultimately, you're going to get to a 1 year mark and then break that down even further into 12-week blocks, preferably. And a great book, by the way, is The 12-Week Year. So you have that conversation with you. Tell them where you are, what you're looking to do, and you're kind of sharing your vision. Hopefully that sparks them to think about what is their vision? Where do they want to go? What do they want to achieve? And just let them brainstorm with you. And it's got to come from them. The best way for them to achieve their goals is it comes from them. And once you've heard their goals, say, great. Now, of the things I shared with you, is there anything on that plate of mine that you feel if you had a part in that, it would help you achieve your goals? It sounds counterintuitive because it's just easier if I go up to you and say, hey, I need to boost customer service ratings by 10%. You need to make that happen too. And it's like, okay. Do they really own it though? You just kind of mandated it. But if I tell you that one of the goals that I have for my department is to increase our customer service ratings by 25%, or to have 0 complaints in the first 6 months or all year, whatever it is, or 0 refunds, whatever the case may be, whatever your metric, what role would you like to have in that would also help you achieve what you'd said to me are some of your goals? And let them share that with you. And then from there, turn that into a SMART goal. Great. You got that? What is the action you're going to take every day or week to help achieve that? Let them see what they come up with. And you say, great. What else do you think? Asking what else 3 times. Great way. I learned it from Fierce Conversations. It draws more information out of people. So now you have a SMART goal. You have a committed action that's going to be done daily or weekly or monthly to get to where they want to go to achieve. You've agreed to it and said, yes, that'll help you and also help me. I love it. Let's do that. Now they've shared it with you. So you got that third ingredient there. And then the fourth one. Hey, when do we want to check in with each other to see the progress of your goal? Ideally, about every week. Some kind of report. Maybe you check in person once every 2 weeks or once a month, but you want some kind of regular update from them, whether it's an email, text messages, phone call. But they got to have that regular progress report to feel that they have that accountability for their progression. So that is my talk around goal setting in a nutshell. Is there a lot more to it? Yes. I believe I spend a lot more time talking about goal setting. You got to practice it. It takes a lot to get there. Now, key thing, I'm going to jump ahead on my tent framework, thriving together. What you also want to do as you're setting these goals is have milestones so that you know you're progressing. Maybe it's the daily activity. Great. If you got 5 days a week, they got to work on this daily activity. I would say a winning week is 4 out of the 5 days they succeeded in achieving that activity. And then 3 out of 4 weeks in the month, they won the month. And then if you're going for a year, I would say 10 months out of the year, you got a winning, you got the momentum. So celebrate those milestones, the thriving together part. You may not know this, but Zippia and a few other organizations have done their surveys, and what they found is that 29% of employees have stated they have not received recognition from their bosses in over a year. When we talk about employee engagement going up, turnover going up, people just not liking where they work, maybe that's a part of it. Maybe we're not telling our folks, I appreciate the work you just did. Here's the impact it had. Look at the growth that we're seeing. You're not celebrating those moments with them. So when you set goals, you're getting those progress reports. Very important that you're not just focused on the shortcomings. Focus also, and a lot more often, on the wins that they have as well. Hey, congratulations. You just went 5 whole days out of 5, knocking this out of the park. You're building that momentum. Fantastic. And if you don't know this, customer so-and-so just gave us this feedback and they mentioned you by name. It's like, what? When you get positive feedback, do you tend to want to do more of that? Chances are the answer is yes. So share that with your people. When you catch them doing the things you want them doing, reward it with praise and specific feedback that talks about the situation you saw, the behavior they exhibited, and the impact of that behavior on the customer, on themselves, on the team, and how it's building momentum. So, gave you a lot of information here all around goals, the 4 ingredients to make goals successful, how to sit down and have a conversation with your employee about setting some goals, tying those goals into some of your own goals if you're a leader, because you got to achieve those organizational outcomes. And then the importance of thriving together, sharing and celebrating those milestones. So I hope you found value in this installment of Jerry's Short. Again, you can find the show notes at beyondtherut.com/JS019. And there I'll also link other episodes where I talk about goal setting, goal achievement, and so on. Now, I'm glad you joined me for this episode. And until the next one, go live life beyond the rut. Take care.